Anna, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Right off the bat, I want to say first, congratulations on this new single that we're going to talk about, this new career, or do I call it a new career? But once we're talking, people are going to understand why I just said new career because things have changed over the years for you from what you did before to what you're doing now. And also, I want to ask, how are you holding up? Because as we speak, we're still in that pandemic, still
We
trying to
are.
deal with it, getting shots and masks and fighting and arguing. How are you doing through all of this, physically and emotionally too?
Well, thank you for having me. I'm quite excited to be here with you today. I'm doing pretty good. We actually purchased a treadmill the first time that we went into this lockdown. So we have it all set up there just because we knew that maybe it might not be like a one-time thing. So at least I'm getting, my cardio in, and also as a dancer, every time that I teach my classes, then I'm also kind of staying fit. So, I mean, that's a pretty good way to stay on top of like the fitness part of it.
Smart move. Yeah, because of course gym's closed, and I've been trying to hit it as hard as I can, and then it shuts down, and then you're like, ah. But for me, I just kind of took kind of like 2 weeks off because I've been hitting it so hard, and now I'm starting to like, okay, I can't keep sitting here like this. I gotta head back in. So I've got one of those stationary bikes that I'm definitely gonna start
There you
getting
go.
on. So, but also want to ask you too about the things that you've seen on social media, and stories that you've heard. Some positive. I feel like there's more negative that I've been seeing. What are your thoughts on some of the things that have been going on? Especially, the term Karen is alive and well these days, and people arguing about, get the shot, don't get the shot, mask, no mask, and like just all of that. What do you think about all that?
Right. I'm a very like positive person, so I always try to think of everything in like a positive way. So even like if you listen to some of my songs, I try to. So like here's an example, right? Every time I walked out of like the house or whatever, I would always forget my water bottle, right? And something as small as saying, "Don't forget your water bottle." If you change it to remember to grab your water bottle, which is the same thing, but you're saying it in a positive way,
Yeah.
it I literally took my water bottle every time I left the house. So when it comes to like translating that to real life and things that we're actually going through, if you start changing the way that you see things, then the things that you see change. I know that's a saying that like some people say, but like it's really true. So when it comes to COVID and vaccinations and all that kind of stuff, you got to flip it and always stay on the positive side of things, or else you get caught in your head, you get caught in all that kind of stuff, which I mean it can't be good, right?
I absolutely agree with you. Well, let's get to the positive stuff because your career has always been positive. Um, what are some of the things that you've done over the years? Because you mentioned about being a dancer, but what other things have you done over the years?
I used to be a short track speed skater, so I was training to go to the Olympics, and that was definitely a goal of mine. So I mean, I didn't necessarily make it, but I was definitely up there in the rankings, and so kind of taking that aspect of being focused and training hard and staying with like a vision of what your goals are, then I've taken some of that and brought it into everything that I would like to achieve as a singer and a performer and so on. So it's all those little lessons from something else that has nothing to do with the new stuff that's going on, but you can still apply it. So
Yeah, no, no, and it's very true that you say that because now I want to double back growing up and what it was like for you because to be able to train for something like this, you just don't do it when you're, older, going, I think I'll be a speed skater. Yeah, I'm going to do that. No, it takes a lot of training growing up. So, what was it like for
hmm,
you? Where did you grow up? And what was it like for you growing up training? But also, I'm assuming there was a love of music and things like that at the same time, too.
absolutely, yeah. So I actually started tap dancing when I was 3, and
Bravo! Sorry,
yeah.
I gotta interrupt. Bravo! I love tap dancing, and I always wished when I was a kid that I learned how to tap dance. I used to just fake it. So, oh my goodness! Clap, clap. Okay, I sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
That's all good. Well, if you still want to tap dance, I do teach adult tap classes nowadays. So come
Okay,
join me.
fantastic, keeping that going. So, okay, tap dancing,
Yeah.
and what else?
Yeah, and then when I was 7, that's when I started speed skating. So I always did both of them kind of like side by side, and one always helped the other one, and vice versa. Everyone always used to say, "Oh my gosh, you have such quick feet on the ice," and everyone was like, "Oh, it's because you're a tap dancer." But yeah, so being a tap dancer, and then a little bit later on, I started doing commercial hip hop dancing as well. So I have that in me, which makes me constantly listen to music because I'm constantly doing either choreography for me or choreography for the kids that I teach. And so it's like I know what I want something to sound like.
Mhm.
And so now translating that into wanting to be the full package. So be able to perform the entire thing. So the singer, the dancer, putting it all up on that stage, I can put all those things that I've already known from the dance world into how I would want my music to sound. And like, if I hear a rhythm in my head, I'll be like, okay, but can like an instrument or can the drum do this for me, just because I know that as a tap dancer that would sound good. And so it just kind of brings a little different kind of flavor to something that I would want to hear.
Growing up, though, who were your inspirations in the entertainment world?
Growing up, I definitely loved the Backstreet Boys for sure. And then once American Idol started, I found out about Paula Abdul. And I realized that Paula Abdul sang, and then I watched a video of her and she was tap dancing at the same time. And I was mind blown. I was like, this is me. This is what I would want to be. Like she was like exactly the mesh of the everything that I loved, right? And so for sure after American Idol started, I definitely started following Paula Abdul, and yeah, I absolutely love her for
And
sure.
she's still killing it. Following you follow her, like you said, on Instagram, and
Yeah.
she'll always pop another video with a couple of her dancers. And wow,
Hmm.
like I said, still killing it. Looks great. So completely can understand that. But when did you decide you wanted to make that change into the entertainment world?
Um, I always grew up in the entertainment world. Like I started being a professional dancer at the age of 9. So I was always really in it. But I've always wanted to have the full package. Like I definitely wanted to make everything. I wanted to be able to do it all. And so when I was done with the speed skating, I moved to Toronto, and then that's when I was like, let's do it. So let's, singing lessons, let's learn how to write songs, and the whole thing.
Now you've made appearances and you've worked with people. Talk a little bit about that, please.
Appearances, I was on an episode of The Next Step on TV, and I got to tap dance on that. I've definitely done some acting for sure. So I've been on In with an E, Private Eye, and so the Netflix Move It with Liza, which was so funny because I love her. And she came out of her room and she looks at me, and I have this really perfect ballet bun that I do. And she goes, "Oh my God, I love your bun." So that was that was a funny moment. It was great. And I also was a featured dancer on Feel the Beat, which is also on Netflix as well. That was a fun one to do because I also love um, Disney, right? And
Yeah.
so the Descendants. So one of the actresses from the Descendants was one of the main actresses on Feel the Beat. So that was fun to do as well for sure.
Oh my goodness, you are really you. What did they call it again? The triple threat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is definitely you. That's old school stuff. Let me guess. People do say to you, you got an old school spirit, don't you?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I do love watching, like, my favorite movie is An American in Paris. Like I love the all the Ginger Rogers, Gene Kelly, Fred Astaire, Ann Miller. I absolutely love all of those, and they do all three, right?
Yeah, they definitely do. And like I said, you're following those footsteps. So, but now let's get back into the music part. When did you start like you talked about, you're hearing the rhythm in your head and the beats and
Mhm.
everything else, but when did you really start feeling like, okay, my feet can groove, but there's something else that's grooving up here and something I want to present here that comes out of here. When did that all come together?
Um, it's I don't think there was like one specific moment, because even as a kid, my mom would say you would walk around with your tiny little like cassette player with like the microphone that was attached to it. You know that
Yes.
Fisher Price thing, and you would walk around singing and all that. So it's something that I think has always been in me. I just never made the decision to do it until recently, but it's definitely something that I have always wanted to do. And then when I made the decision of being like, let's go, let's do it for sure. Then it kind of all fell together and it felt right. It didn't feel like something was missing, right? Because before it was either just the dancing or just the acting, and there was still something that was like, what, we got to finish it. And so now we're getting the finished product, right?
Let's get to that finished product. There's a reason why I'm wearing this shirt to sort of
Yes.
celebrate what you have released. New single. What is the new single called? And so I want you to tell the story and what this single is about. I love that.
Yeah, so Blast Off Light Years and Beyond is about, it's my love story pretty much. So I recently got engaged, but before we got engaged, my fiance and I, we met through TikTok. So it's secretly a dating app, but so we there got we got to a point where just saying I love you, it didn't feel like it was enough, right? And so we were like, I don't know what else to say, because I just love you so much. And there was just all this, like, it was just coming out of us, right? And so, anyways, she loves sci-fi and Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. And I love Disney and so on. So in Toy Story, Buzz says, like to infinity and beyond. And then in Star Trek, they say something is like light years away, or that kind of language. And so we're like, what's a better way to express what we feel? And so we put them together. And so that's where the phrase light years and beyond came to be. And that's like our little personal thing, instead of saying I love you, we say light years and beyond. And so that's kind of what started the idea to then create Blast Off.
So cool. How does it feel though? Because it's becoming a bit of an anthem, I do believe.
On TikTok, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
How does that feel, especially, for whatever community, this has become an anthem for love. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter who you love, it's about love.
exactly. And it's when we were writing the song, I wanted to make sure that it was inclusive to everyone. So like, because everyone feels love in so many different ways, right? And so sure, Blast Off is my love song, but when I want people to be able to listen to one of my songs and then give it their own interpretation and their own ideas of what they feel love is and what that song means to them. So I don't want people to just listen and be like, "Oh, that's Anna's love song." Well, sure, it's Anna's love song, but it also means this to me. And I think that that's amazing. That's like the I love that.
When you have a great song like this, please tell me there are other songs to follow for an EP or an album.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're currently working on one more song that's going to come out. I want to say February, but you know how things work, so we don't really know when something's going to come out. But I want to say February, and we do want to finish an EP. So I think we're going to throw in a couple more songs for sure.
Well, you know what? Even if it does not come out in February, at least we have this for Valentine's Day too. So we're good. We're good.
Absolutely.
We can hang tight for you, but we also need to know. Well, actually, you probably won't even know yourself because as we speak, we're kind of like in lockdown and shows aren't happening. Will there be a chance that maybe during this time that you might do a virtual show, or are you going to hang tight, wait for things to open up, and then we can see you live and in person?
I think I'm not entirely sure how things are rolling. I know that we are talking about doing some shows. As to when they're going to happen or if they're going to happen, that's still up in the air. But we are talking about making a video to go with Blast Off. So hopefully things make it easier than the lockdown right now in order to get that done. But we are thinking about a video for that, and we are thinking about doing shows. But again, it all kind of depends on what life throws at you.
Okay, so if you're going to do a video for this song, and you got Disney and you got Star Trek, I cannot wait to see what this video is going to look like and feel like.
Yeah.
This is going to be so cool. Anna, I want to say thank you so much for doing this interview with me. Congratulations on everything you've done in the past, what you're doing today, and what's going to be happening in the future. I am so looking forward to, once things are safe, that we can do this interview in person. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to meeting your fiance at some point.
I
And
would
I
bring her up, but she's a school teacher, so she's downstairs with her class right now. She's on Zoom and teaching, but I would definitely bring her up here, but she's, working.
You know what? Next time, maybe we can bring her on, because I would love to talk to her to see what is it like to be with somebody with so much energy and positive love out there and everything too. I swear, you guys probably have rainbows and butterflies all over the place at
Yeah.
your place. I love
That's
it.
very sweet. Thank you.
No, when we need that positivity, especially the way the world's been for the last couple of years.
Mhm.
So, thank you again so much for doing this interview, and congratulations on the music.
Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.